I don't like where they changed the media assets. The videos are 3 across instead of 1 down. Whole thing's thrown me. Welcome to guitars, but it's not. It's Sunday, and we're hanging. There's a name for that. Sunday Night Hang. That's right. I'm Ben.
Could be
You might be as well. I doubt it. Sounds like someone might have it open on another tab. Rookie move.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something there. All right. He's like, really, the bus? We're not even a minute in. The bus is already here.
The bus is just parked, rocking back and forth.
For those who don't know, this is iconic fabric wrapper of quality instruments near and far. Friend to all of us, Charles75N, also co-host of Guitar Safari and host of Chatting with Charles.
Here you go.
Well, there we are.
Yeah. Apologize. We didn't have a show this morning. A fellow was on call and couldn't afford having to be called in and ditch a guest. So
I usually go in order on the roll call, but I just want to point out right here. Cheers, gang. I'm still cooking on John's patio. Now, is he cooking his brain? Is he cooking his skin in the sunshine? Or we actually got meat on the grill?
Well, depending
Questions need to be answered. And not to mention, I thought you were going to be home by now. Ken was going to be home Sunday morning. Blah, blah. Nope, hasn't even left yet. That's nice. Ken's going to miss the ferry, and then he's stuck on mainland Canada, and he's not going to be happy about that. Anyway, first in the chat, we got Ian and Indy.
Oh, hello there.
And I looked at this. This has been up here for 4 hours. Ben and Charles and Ben, it's like peanut butter and chocolate, only better. Oh, this is a sick individual. I would say you need to get out more, Michael, but you've been out for like a month straight on vacation, so it didn't help, apparently. I don't know. Then we got Unfucking Believable in the chat.
There he is.
And loitering in the green room for some reason. I don't know. Earl Coli is here. Dastardly Dave is here. Ferd Burfle is here.
And the Ferd of the Burfle.
Loitering. Yep, there he is. Look at that waving. It's like he knew. He fucking knew. He knew.
He's like, I'm out.
He's like, I've seen you do enough to Charles. Reaction shots. Who else we got in here? Billy Baloney is here.
Hello, Beard Billy.
Dan Gorman is in fact here.
Hey, Dan.
Wayne McArdle here.
Wayne.
Of course, since Dan Gorman's here, Kush isn't far away.
That's right.
Dynamic duo. Steve Reeser. Steve's here.
Hello there, Steve.
Oh, Steve, did you find a can opener? Poor bastard, Charles. He's house sitting
in the box he sent me. So,
well, he's house sitting for a friend, right? Take care of their various animals because they got a whole zoo over there. He's saying, and the guy said, "Hey, by the way, just snagged on some quality ground beef sitting in the fridge. You know, snag on it, eat it on up. Probably, not going to let blah blah blah." So he's like, "All right." So he goes over to check on the dog. Brought a can of Sloppy Joe mix over. Aha! Because it's Steve, right? He trashed that entire house. Couldn't find a fucking can opener to save his life.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And then he realized, he's looking through the pantries, there was no canned food in the entire house.
Could explain no can opener.
Yeah. Poor bastard.
Oh,
I told him, buy a can opener and leave it right on the middle of the counter. That's a statement.
Get one with magnets on it, put it right on the refrigerator door where they'll have to look at it.
Right. Hey, we got Tim Thomas in the chat. Great to see Tim.
Dave Michael Thompson in here too.
Yes. I'm getting there, Seth.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Pardon me.
You don't like it when it's done to you.
One of those nights. Okay. All right.
BC Rich 581, but number one in my heart. BC's going to be coming on 1 week from tonight. And BC, just if you want to put a pin in it, because we always have a fondness of 80s music together. 40th anniversary today of Live Aid. We can discuss Live Aid.
No.
If you'd like to. If you don't want it, then we don't have to.
He's got one great little channel too.
That was a big deal for me when that event happened musically, because I remember sitting there all day watching it. which is weird because we never used to watch TV at his house. The only 2 channels. Unfortunately, one of them got in live fucking aid, so I was set. Yes, unfuckbelievable in the chat again. Who else we got here? Martian Murray. Neither Martian nor a Murray. I like him. Who else we got? They're all saying hey to each other. Eddie Fay in the house. Steve Cassidy guitar. Great to see Steve in here. Well, hello there yourself. L Bar J in the house somewhere.
He's there.
He I don't. You saw yesterday's Soda Pop video, Charles?
I did.
He summed up the taste the best. He said it looked, by the look on my face, it was a combination of licking a 9-volt battery and sucking on a lemon. And I went, yes, that's kind of what it tasted like.
Oh my.
So sour. JP Page here. Nice.
Hey,
Trev just replied, yes. So brain cells, skin, various meats, sure. Papa Blue in the house. Hip Metal Works.
Hey,
still
Papa
alive
Blue.
as well. BC is asking Charles, walk us through that Gretsch-shaped object behind you. Okay, I'll pin that.
Okay.
We'll
get there.
Doing an extra day. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That makes sense. There's Glenn Michael Thompson, art and music. That means he does his own album covers, I guess. I don't know. 2 weeks vacation and it wasn't enough. Lars Guitars is here.
Hey, Lars Guitars.
There's Matt from McCullum Music.
Heyo.
Mark's gas station. See, they're right next to each other. I was like, ooh, easy. Mark's gas station, not Matt's. I've seen Matt's gas station. I haven't seen Mark's yet. I think he'd be an interesting person to talk to. Richard Nagamitsu, also an interesting person to talk to.
Very much so.
I want to say I've had Richard on as a guest, but I'm really not sure.
I don't think so. I think it's been all the Water Buffalo meetings.
I think so.
Yeah.
I may have to put a pin in that one too.
Fellas do, yeah.
Yep. There's Munch Michelli.
Hey, Steven.
Munch. BC says, went to swap out the jack of my studio with Les Paul today, and the cheap plastic plate on it cracked. That means a solid metal one to replace it.
Yep. I never liked those plastic ones anyway.
No. With Phil Collins and Led Zeppelin developing a lifelong hatred after Live Aid. Exactly. Yeah. You didn't lose the material. You weren't even in fucking tune, Jimmy. So, isn't heroin a wonderful thing? No.
Oh my.
Eston Ray is here.
Richard reports no, he has not been.
I see that. And that means we're caught up. Nice. All right. So back to the first question of the evening. Charles, walk us through that Gretsch-shaped object behind you.
Well, that Gretsch-shaped object behind us is a Gretsch 5120 and Sunburst. I guess it is Sunburst, Tobacco Burst. I can't quite remember.
Brooklyn Burst.
It's what?
Brooklyn Burst.
Brooklyn Burst. Okay. And
but that, not sure. They haven't been in Brooklyn in a long time.
And this is the one where I watched it for months and months and months at the pawn shop. And they had started somewhere around 500, 550. And I told them, I will buy it when it hits 350. And we went back and forth and every month. And it hit 400. And Ben was like, buy it now, you fool. And I was like, no, I will buy it when it gets
at 450, but whatever.
Yeah. And so finally one day I'm in there and I said, look, is your boss ready to take 350 for this thing? They said, yes. I ran to their desk and said, okay. and we paid for 350 for that. And it's probably my, it's one of my most favorites of all of them.
Eddie Fay then asks, as a follow-up, is that the guitar you're going to use to learn to play House of the Rising Sun?
Ooh, I don't know. It's either going to be that or it'll be the American Strat, probably.
I was like, I'm kind of leasing Strat, bridge pickup.
Because, it was played on Strat, so.
And it's very bright sounding. So
yeah. So I'll probably go with our powder blue, sonic blue Strat.
Guess I got to play that. Hey, there's Terry's 3Gs, by the way. Great to see Terry.
Geez.
Maybe I'll play that and dedicate it to you tomorrow night. Just the intro.
There you go.
I only ever learned the intro too, because it's actually we were discussing off air. Both my father and I detest the song, for a variety of reasons. For him, it's like a Mustang Sally because everyone fly out there, eyes, son. Fuck off, you drunk. You know.
So it was that one song he had to play over and over again, and then got tired of it. So
yeah, not a fan, but it's a great song for learning your chords because it also has an F chord in. There's an F chord in there, so yay! You can start out with just the simple 4-string chord, and then if you want, graduate to the full bar chord.
Oh boy!
Isn't the intro the same as the song? It might be.
It pretty much that it runs all the way through. I think there's some
of the animals
interesting.
BC, as I told Charles here, it's a douche move to go from calling yourselves the animals to all of a sudden Eric Burden and the animals. You sing, anybody can sing, and you don't even sing that well. So Mark Taft, he was more of a yeller than a singer. Zach Thong knows what I'm talking about. He's more of a lover than a fighter. What?
Hey, you got 3J music.
See, so you can tell we both have channels. We just showed, hey, is that in the chat? I'll be on that. I got nothing. No
idea. we don't know what we're doing here, folks.
No idea. Girl. Yeah. Fat Jim Morrison in his one-piece velvet suits forever. You know, he's wearing this one-piece velvet leisure suit thing. So I'm like, easy. You look like you're at a Florida retirement community and you have your wife wearing the same matching outfit. Richard Amy says, I love Eric Burden's voice. Well, that's fine. Someone has to. What?
Wow. I'm so tempted just to sit back and watch this all happen.
It's your dream episode all over. Billy says, I strongly disagree. Eric Burden is a great singer. All right. Maybe his ego surpasses his singing abilities, in my opinion. Kind of like Don Henley. Hey, bonsoir, Marcel. Comment ça va?
Hey, Marcel.
He just went with A. It's Canadian. Is everyone going to sing happy birthday to me? Well, Keith.
It is the man's birthday.
Was it Eric Burden and War or just War? Actually, it was Eric Burden just doing some stuff with War. I don't think he was actually part of the War band, per se. There's half Strat shake dropped right here. Oh, I just hit myself in a part of my body with a lower horn that I shouldn't have.
Fella's got to be careful these days.
Yes, I'm searching for tone.
Hey, right.
And always end on the 7th chord. Makes it sound jazzy.
Very nice. Yeah,
Eric Burden and the Animals because he's the only original member. Well, that tells you something because everybody fucking quit because Eric was in the band.
Everybody's like, I'm gone.
They're like, fuck this guy. We had a hit, but fuck this guy. No, you didn't miss the part of it. You explained it, Steve. Thank you. That's the coolest tone. An unplugged Strat. That's the tone.
I tell you, though, that does come through really good.
Yep. Michael said, I seldom see Ben with a Strat. Ben picked it up last night because Ben hasn't picked it up in a while. Hey, let's just say, I'm really thankful with we're sitting at 80% humidity in here, Charles. I'm really thankful that a lot of my guitars have two-way truss rods because they were in all the back bow.
Wow.
Some Dave dude says, thanks for your time, Ben, and for the shirt. Well, it's Charles' favorite shirt.
It is. I'm still waiting for the day it works.
It still hasn't worked. You know, walk by the old folks and go, "Oh, give me a kiss, honey," and squeeze your cheeks too. Like, easy. Hey, not those cheeks. Hey now.
Not that kind of show.
Yeah, like they say on the Gong Show, one more time. There's Richard Clark. It's just the first time I saw Eric Burden, voice coming out of that face, I was floored. You know, that was me with little Stevie Winwood, Charles.
Yeah.
You know, like, we heard the Spencer Davis group, and I'm like, who is this? What it sounds like a large black man, I'm going to say. I said, no, it's little Stevie Winwood. He's a little skinny-ass white boy from England, still teenager even. I'm like, was he drinking whiskey since birth, like, to get a voice like that?
Well, you know, and I hadn't really been aware of Stevie Winwood until Spencer Davis anyway, right? That was my relations. So when I saw him playing a telly, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, from keyboards to telly, what happened? What did I miss? But,
exactly. And then, of course, he made his comeback in the 80s
when
it was just a singer. Yeah, I've always liked Steve Winwood's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Braxel's here. Yeah, similar. I would say Steve Winwood was similar to Peter Frampton in that respect. He was in the scene from a very young age.
Right. But no, I get what he's saying, though, because in listening to the other guy, it's kind of the allure of the Animals is that you don't expect that voice to come out of that guy.
No. Still. Why did everybody leave the band? Were they fired or did they quit? My money's on quitting. Zach reports in, last night I got back on with Ryan and the boys. I actually played along with them with the backing tracks, and it was so much fun.
Awesome.
Awesome. Part of their 6-hour marathon Saturday night hang. Already show with that name. Doug's already stole that name. So Doug's just get ripped off everywhere. We're going to start a new cornhole podcast. We're going to call it Down and Back.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said? Oh, yeah, I've been doing it for years. And they claim to be, Charles, a faith-based bag company. It's like, really, it's really Christian ripping off someone's name and then trolling them. Oh, so we'll see you tonight. He's like, yeah, so I can troll your ass. Yeah. What about Steve Marriott?
Not a classy.
He didn't start as a child actor. I will say probably a very powerful voice for a man of that stature because he was just a little teeny tiny man. All right, Chaz Chandler from the Animals quit to manage Hendrix. Right. Which is that's a guy that really doesn't like load in and load outs, Charles. When you quit, and he was still young, he was like, I think I'm just going to get into management.
Well, it's just that
around the money.
Well, that whole band didn't look like guys that would be in a band.
Well, there is that.
You know,
Ian's back, but he's now Ian's Guitar Shack. Alternate account, different device.
It's messing with me, you know.
Jimmy had the better acid. Oh, that makes sense. Or maybe Chaz was the connection for the acid. As long as you keep bringing that good acid, you could be my manager.
Oh, boy.
There's Guitar Man 45. Says, sorry, Light had shit to do. Hello, Ben and Charles.
Right. Well, hello there, Bo.
Oh, there we are. It's good to see you, Bo. Some Dave dude as well. Just saying. We got 30 people watching. Please hit the like if you haven't already. Almost knocked my pipe on the floor, and that would have broken, and I would have been sad and cried. So let's just move that away.
You trying to break stuff, are you?
Not trying to avoid, but I'm due to break something. It's been a minute. As I look around at stuff that broke. Oh, it reminds me. It's middle of the month. I got to release another exclusive video for members and patrons, and it's not a feel-good story. Let's just say that.
Oh, my.
Yeah. What did I see there? Did that. You know, Steve Marriott. Yeah, Steve Marriott is one of my favorites for voices. And great player, too. Rumor has it, Steve Marriott was on the short list to join the Rolling Stones when Brian Jones passed away.
Oh, really?
But Mick Jagger felt a little intimidated having that kind of a voice just as a player singer type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of a strong lineup though. Like obviously there'd be no
like
Ronnie Wood, which would be terrible. But be cool. But then when you think about Humble Pie, where you got Steve Marriott and Peter Frampton in the same fucking band.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of that at that time period where you get these guys from the different bands coming together,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't realize it until you start looking back through it if you weren't born at that time, right? So, or if you came to that music later.
Or how many people were in multiple bands over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, oh, this band fell apart and then, went on to have a second career with his second band. I'm thinking of just passed away, Mick Ralphs. He was in Mott the Hoople, had some success there, and then Bad Company.
Well, yeah, and
Paul
then
Rogers, Free,
and then the folks that like where the lead singer goes off and I'm going to do my solo, and you get say Phil Collins, right, and you get Mike and the Mechanics,
right. Exactly. And I think also their keyboard player, whose name is escaping, he did a solo album too, but since he's a keyboard player, nobody fucking cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just saying. But yeah. Or he could be like, that was like Steve Matchett, who used to play with Genesis, quit in the 70s, still to this day plays like the music of Genesis. And I was like, yeah, nothing new? Nothing?
Oh my!
Vox guitar rocks. Vox guitars rock. I always say one guitar and then rocks plural. I would take that S and put it on the end. Humble Pie opened for Quiet Riot on the Mental Health Tour at Stop in El Paso. Humble Pie destroyed Quiet Riot. I can see that.
That's interesting.
But man, what version of Humble Pie would that be? Like, there would be no Frampton. I don't even think Steve Marriott was with him by then. He was already passed away, unfortunately. So what's left? The bass player and drummer? Solid rhythm section, Charles, but it's like a white Ford pickup. Does the job, not really gimmicky, fancy,
Well, it's hard though. You see where these bands where you got none of the original members left, right? And it's like, at what point do you stop becoming? What point are you no longer that band? Right.
Exactly. Or it's like literally just one member, but it's again like nothing really against bass players or drummers, but they're kind of replaceable, Charles. Like I'm just saying, whereas a singer usually, singer probably is the most unique person in the band because their voices, everybody's voice is different. Guitar player second because tone matters, and guitar players do sound different band to band. But beyond, like really.
Well,
It's interesting. No original members, but the original drummer will come out and play like 2 songs with them during the set type thing. Really? Billy says there was a shitty version of Humble Pie in the 80s. I have a funny story about the drummer. Well, you may be able to hear that story this coming Wednesday evening. Bringing on Charles live on air. Guess what's coming up this Wednesday evening, Charles? At 6
p.m. Could you do a water buffalo meeting?
Well, I was looking at a calendar, and it turns out, it's the 16th, which is the 3rd Wednesday of the month.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I will add it to the list of things to do.
There we go. Because you don't have enough on your plate.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the stack of guitars in the last video.
Yeah.
Like, easy there, Rick Nielsen. He's like, hey, I wasn't wearing them all.
Oh, boy. And a fella needs to get started on those too.
And we did have a question earlier about a certain warlock shaped object.
Yeah,
I guess you asked that question.
Honestly, hey, that warlock is ready to get clear sprayed. We've fixed what we can on it, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But we are finished, ready to get spray some clear on it.
So Rick is saying great stuff, and I'm seeing a bunch of other people saying it was like a shit show. So I don't know. I guess it depends. If you like it, you like it.
Well, I think it also depends on, who in the group did you like, right? And it's like, right, because that question of when does a band really stop becoming a band is really one best answered by the person listening to it. Because if the front person was the person you were following, okay. If the guitarist was the person you're following, completely different.
You know what? That can equate with one of your favorite bands, Styx. Because they had an early career, some lineup changes, and then a second career all at once, Doobie Brothers, another great example. All one long career, but kind of broken up into chapters in a way due to, whether or not you got Mike McDonald. If you got Mike McDonald in your band, also, it's a thing. It changes the dynamic of the band. Just saying. What's the guitar with the blue neck?
Oh, that is the neck for Ed's guitar.
Oh, that is currently taped up the fretboard.
Yeah, the fretboard's all taped up, getting ready to spray the.
There we go. Rather ironic that shape of that is kind of a hawk beak shaped headstock. Possibly eagle shaped for some people.
Yeah.
And Gracie says, no, Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers. Who believes? No.
So,
voice.
We just need to wet sand this and spray the clear, and then it can start getting put together. So,
yay. What's up, Brody's Jam Cave?
Yeah, Michael Cross. I kind of feel that way too. Styx is somewhat of a tribute.
Yeah, but you got a Canadian singing, so there's that.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Gowan is a good singer.
He is a good singer, and he's a suitable substitute for Dennis DeYoung. But it's like, you don't have the Panazzo brothers anymore. It's just with not having them and not having Dennis, it's like too much.
It's like, what's Toto these days? Steve Lukather and a bunch of guys named who? I'm just saying, well, if you're a guitar player, sure, cool. But if you're a drummer fan, like, that's some huge feat to fill. Shoes to fill, feet to fill. I don't know.
I still like them, but it's a very different band.
Yeah. Oh, Munch saw Styx in '78. Great show. I was 4 in 1978, Munch. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So, because
I was 5,
and I get to do that, Charles. You know why? Because I'm jealous that some of our older friends got to see all these good bands back in the heyday. And it's like, do you want to go see? Yeah, like Andrew calls us, they're all tribute bands for the most part. With the exception, I'm pretty sure Honeymoon Suite is still all the original members. Mike McCall had effects on Steely Dan. Yep. He and Skunk Baxter had effects on both bands. Munch says I was legal drinking age. Yeah, but you could be like in Mississippi where it's 12 years old or something. I don't know.
Pull a pie chair.
Shots fired. It's 21 to buy it in the store. 12 if you make it yourself. Well, I guess I'm making it myself.
Love it.
Yeah, Foreigner doesn't have any original members. Oh.
Richard Clark, you are right. Chuck was a great drummer.
I don't know what Paradise Theater is, Ian, to be honest. I'm not that big a fan. My sister says, hi, Charles.
Hello, man.
It was like earthquake. You pushed off of your desk, and the camera's just shaking violently. Clearly, Charles has not secured the camera down.
That's right.
Or there's no diagonal supports left in that desk.
Paradise Theater.
Well, there we are. Look at him with his album cover.
That's right.
I was thrown off by the misspelling of theater. It's R-E.
One of my favorite albums. And hello, Amanda.
Drexel, we can't afford steak. Who are you kidding? Steak time. We've got a $5 super chat. That don't buy steak. I see about $1.50 of that.
You could buy a Salisbury steak.
Not even. I'm like, I can get cat food. I get beef flavored cat food at that price. The bass player in Toto is Leland Sklar. Isn't the bass player in like 33 bands, Leland Sklar. I'm just saying. And just as many bands have Kenny Aronoff on drums, Charles. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Braxel, that album does have that.
Not yet, Steve.
The vinyl.
Possibly this week. The money is in escrow, Steve. I didn't spend it on guitar strings. Need a day to get together.
There you go.
It's too hot. Right? Yeah. Like when it's 90 and humid, don't feel like eating deep fried food. Just saying.
No.
As you go into the restaurant, the AC is just barely keeping up in the restaurant. Hey, it's Brother Ed saying hi to Amanda.
He must be on the phone.
We may have been looking at your guitar, Ed.
Yeah, we could have been looking at it. Maybe, possibly.
Lee is dating himself because he says Janis Joplin. He saw Janis Joplin when he was like 10. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she passed away before I was born. So there's that.
From here in Texas, Corpus, I believe.
We don't have Tina's burritos here. Plus, I can't eat burritos. They do stuff to my guts that I'm not allowed to do anymore.
Oh my! Good.
Charles is like, no loss. I've seen the way you make your fucking burritos and shit. Coombs. What? Old El Paso refried beans, some shredded cheese.
You started with old El Paso. You lost me there.
Hey, that's your neck of the woods. It comes from Texas, doesn't it? No.
It really doesn't.
I'm pretty sure some Dave dude. This is that spelling is the sound you make when you stretch after a nap.
Yeah. Yeah, he just told on himself.
Brian says, "I'm sure Ed wants to look at it too on his lap."
He does. He does. He was, I told him I was on call this morning, and she's like, "So that means you'll be out in the garage working on it, right?" And like, probably not.
All right, I think we're caught up. Dave's like, "I'm ashamed I even typed that out." Well, you have to stretch. You have to stretch.
That's right. Sometimes you just need to.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm a lot fonder of naps now than I was as a young man.
I'll tell you, with the lack of AC, a little siesta when it gets into the hot time of the day, Charles, I get it. If you're looking for that connection with the past, give John Craigie a try. He's got a song claiming he's the Woodstock baby. I'm pretty sure I lived the life of Woodstock baby, Eddie. I hung out with a lot of hippies through my young childhood. Sort of like Charles, like most people, would never see a guy with long hair until, unless it was in a music video or something. Whereas I knew, like, on one hand, I could fill one hand with the amount of, uncles that you knew, because everybody's an uncle when you're a toddler type thing. And I realized, I'm like, those people lived on a commune.
I tell you, it's
living out on farms.
It's funny, all those things that you grow up with, you think are completely normal, and then you get around other people other than your family. Like, wow, okay.
Blue Mox is here. You can tell because he left blue Mox everywhere.
Everywhere.
Fucking. I just picture donuts in a parking lot are blue. Blue donuts in a parking lot. Just going to town. Keith H. saw Frampton in 78.
Nice.
All right. Check that out. No idea, Dave. I haven't seen him in 5 years. At least 6 years, 7 years. Milt, though, seen him.
Here. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, both the Taft boys here.
You do. Yeah. We have 54 people watching now. For some reason, I'm not quite sure. But hey, it's awesome. If you haven't already checked out Charles' channel, yes, there's a link in the description. I'd like to see him hit 600 subs tonight. That'd be awesome. Although I'm pretty sure out of the 52 watching, 51 are already subscribed.
Most likely.
I'm just saying. We have a slight carryover amongst
just a tiny bit.
Which works both ways, because I know I'll have a decent
there's a little overlap.
And then when we do it together, it's like a mashup. They like it. That's why we got 57 people watching.
That's right.
These are people that are returning from subbing you, apparently. Right, folks? I'm just saying.
Eddie Van Haskell's here. Look at that.
Eddie Van Haskell in the house. Still one of my favorite names of the internet. I do enjoy a good wordplay, Charles. Because I may not have children, but I do enjoy a pun and a dad joke as much as anybody.
So album covers tomorrow night.
Yep.
What's the stack looking like?
Thin. Whereas we were always a month behind because there were so many out there. There's not as many out there anymore, Charles. And it seems like every time you miss an episode, we have some really ones I know that would trigger your ass big time. There was one in particular last week.
Okay.
So, let me see if I can find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
So Eston Ray says, off a microphone stand smoking and drinking from a bottle of Jack Daniels. All that I could do was beg my sister to take me home.
All right. I don't know if we did that one, but I'm going to start with that one because I don't know if we did that one or not. But this week, yeah, there was just this weirdness, Charles. Let's focus on the dude. Yeah, he's got a face. Focus on him. There he is.
There you go.
The biggest thing is, why is there a samurai in the background, Charles?
It's got this whole, yeah.
It's like a Pink Floyd cover, right? It's Roger Waters going solo, and oh, they'll get it. None of us got it.
It was like a Sgt. Pepper's thing gone wrong.
Yeah, I think that was the one.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's just so confusing.
Well, Ed, have a good time there in Maine. Apparently, he must have been listening in on the drive.
Just got to my sister-in-law's in Maine. Wasn't Michael Krause in Maine? That's how he started his whirlwind tour.
I thought Michael Krause was out of Boston.
Popped into Canada for... Man, he's been all over Canada. Oh, we have other ones for Monday, Marcel, but that one from last week, they confused the fuck out of Steve. I'm just saying, and others to the point where there may have been an off-air hang later in the week, and the topic of that very album came up again. It was just like, what was with that samurai? I'm like, I know, right?
That's the whole point of it all.
Did anyone ever figure it out? Dad jokes. Thank you, Marcel.
Okay. Thanks for the correction.
Yeah. Weird ass. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we have some goodies for tomorrow. That's for sure. That'll be fun.
Well, I think it was Michael Krause that sent me some a while back, and I sent them to you. And some of them were those ones where just like, oh no, we could never show this.
Yeah, there's a few. Billy Baloney sent me some this past week.
Hey, Billy.
Most of them we could. There was one that I'm like, no. I'm pretty sure you've been to more provinces than me at this point, Michael. I've been to 3 provinces, and I know he's visited 3 just on this vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't hit PEI. All the Maritimes, but PEI. Really? I'm assuming he ate all the lobster. Because it pretty much grows on trees down there. When I was down there, Charles, in 1992, lobster, they jacked up the lobster prices for Canada Day weekend because of the tourists. My uncle was enraged. He had to pay $2.50 a pound for lobster.
That poor man.
Of course, there was 7 of us, so he bought 4 dozen lobsters for 7 of us.
Yeah. Amanda's only been to 3 provinces as well.
Well, 2 of which are the same. I assume she hasn't been to Quebec. Labrador is part of Newfoundland. By going to Newfoundland, you got Labrador. Just ain't missing much. Scrub pines and moose. That's pretty much it. How many provinces has anyone visited in? I'm curious now. We have 10 provinces. Hey, bonus points. I'll give a 2 for 1 if you've been to any of the 3 territories, Charles. But basically, the provinces go all the way across, and then the territories are the next, upper floor. That's up there. That's no. I don't go there unless I have to. I was offered a chance through the military. They said you should go up there. I said, yeah. They said, yeah. There's a girl behind every tree. There's no trees, Charles. There's wolves. There's no trees. There's wolves.
No trees.
No, because you're 4 hours above the tree line.
Right.
The tree line, Charles. I don't like the sounds of that. That sounds bleak. That sounds apocalyptic.
Yeah, it is nothing out there. It is all white. So Vox Guitar Rock says all provinces, no territories.
No territories. Wow, a 10. 10 for Vox. BC got, Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec. Yeah. Billy's been to Southern Ontario and Northern Ontario. Does that count? Yeah, it would, that's 2 different countries in Europe, but no.
Love it.
What's the matter, boo-boo?
Oh, you got Martin Lemaire showed up.
I cleaned the litter box for you. Yeah, Martin.
He's been to 8 provinces.
Right. Just been to y'all's capital. Oh, he's Ottawa. Yeah. How northern? More than us? No. Well, maybe not. I've been as far north as Sudbury, that's north enough, Charles. That's 7 hours north. Well, actually, I think technically it was about 2 hours west and then 5 hours straight north. We were going there for Christmas. I'm like, really? There's fucking snow around here at Christmas. Turns out it was the first green Christmas in like half a century.
You planned it right, huh?
Oh, I was so happy. Went into a music store there. I was in the music store more than a minute. Why? I walked in, they're all talking French, and then they looked at me weird, and they gave me a dirty look like, we don't want you here. We can tell you speak English. I went, okay.
I'm out.
Ferd's been to Ontario and Newfoundland.
There you go.
Doug Ford isn't in Ottawa. He's in Toronto. Provincial capital as opposed to nation's capital. Most people think Toronto. A lot of people think Toronto is the nation's capital, being the largest city. It's not.
No.
Little too close to the American border for our liking. We had some Parliament buildings burned down there once. Not saying who did it. So we literally moved it up the Ottawa River because of in between is Cataraqui. What's that? That's French for a lot of fucking rapids, which would slow you guys down.
The 1770s were a bit of a challenging time for our 2 countries.
Yeah. Expansionist agenda much? What? Yep. Most people don't know it, but you guys the Americans have tried to invade us 3 times already.
Never succeeded.
No, but I have a feel you guys have kind of got a little more robust military since the last attempt. The entire chain. We had the entire British Commonwealth behind us, and well, we still do, but it's not what it once was. So, yes, there's your history, folks. Look it up. We also burnt down your White House twice. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Second time was out of spite. I'm not gonna lie. Still like that idea of doing the White House tour when they tour the basement with the singe, and I'll be there with just a Bic lighter. Oh, sorry. Force a habit. Sorry. What's up, brother Tom?
The thing is, I can see you doing it.
just slowly but deliberately. They're like, "Do you have a question there?" Nope. Flick. Of course, instant deportation. I'm pretty sure that's.
Well, you get a free trip home.
They won't send me home. I'm going to a third-party country, and it's not going to be a pleasant one. That's out of spite too. I get it. I'll be headed straight to like South Sudan or El Salvador, or I'm hoping place without snow. Tropical would be nice.
Well.
I'll probably die of the jungle as soon as I get out of prison. I'll never get out of prison. Who are we kidding? I wasn't going to say anything, Vox.
Wow.
Just well, that was the do line. Yeah. If you want to learn more about disloyal warning system, Rush wrote a song about it back in the day. I mean, we do shit like that as Canadians. But yes, the do line is actually that would be part of NORAD, which is both of us working together.
Yep.
We still maintain that shit. Just for those who don't know, Canada, if you look at from a certain angle on the globe, Charles, we're literally right between you guys and Russia.
The thing, yeah.
So, you say clones to the left of us, jokers to the right.
Love it.
You be a judge of who is who. Off the grace under pressure. Exactly.
It depends on.
It's funny that BC knows that, Charles, because I know he knows that. Every time I listen to 80s Rush now, I think of Rob. Just for whatever, I'm like, I'd hear a cool bass line. I'm like, Rob would appreciate that bass line.
And he knows
I
too
listened
much.
to Power Windows album the other day. I was thinking of Rob. He probably has this album. He likes this album. Snow kills the large reptiles, venomous things. There was that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's like every time, like our friend Chris, he's like, "Come move to Arizona." I'm like, "Nope." There's like scorpions and lizards and if I get lost in a rural part around here, Charles, I can technically live off the land by foraging. There's no foraging in the desert. Other things are foraging you. You're lower on the food chain, and then you become foraging for scorpions and lizards.
Yeah, it's a whole different dynamic.
So yeah, there's that. Vox says, "I live in Canada. I'm further south than most of Washington State, geographically speaking." Well, okay. Let's take our good friend Milt in the chat here, Charles. Being in the Greater Windsor area, he looks north to Detroit, and he's on the same latitude as Northern California.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yep. And I believe, because I remember I moved down there in the summertime, and all of a sudden the wind didn't move one day, and it was so hot. It was so hot. I was shocked at how hot it was. And then because there's not a lot of hills, there was a windy day, and I went to walk around the building, and I couldn't. It was such a wall of air. I'm like, nope. Back
the other way.
Stuck till the wind died down. So Vox wins for most provinces because he's literally seen them all. Collect them all. So I guess he's just got the 3 territories.
Does he have the commemorative spoon set?
course, I'm old enough to remember when it was just 2 territories. There was no superfluous 3rd territory. So you have the Northwest Territories, which is not the northern western part, because Yukon is west of it. And it was plural. It's like, it's the Northwest Territories. No, it's the Northwest Territory. Until they split in half, and half it became Nunavut. There you go, folks. Oh, we got a thing for that, don't we? Oh, dang. Why are overlay? Oh, right, I don't do overlays. Where'd they put? Oh, no. They get rid of my thing? Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, it was an overlay.
Is it over in clips?
No, it's right above video clips, the way I thought it was. But it threw me off because I got the 2 backgrounds. I also have as an overlay, like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or this. But I never use those. So I should probably delete them to avoid my blatant confusion. But I could drive directly south to New York State, but I would get wet first because there's a lake in the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
So the chat is ground to a halt. That's fine.
But do you know, have you picked guitar for tomorrow night? Is it the Strat?
I think I might use the Strat-shaped object for a little bit. And then swap that for... Well, I did set up the Gretsch Junior Jet 2 weeks ago. And guess what? I had to set up again this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Humidity?
Oh, I don't know. It's been fighting with me. Is this a geography podcast? It could be, Mike. It would be more of one if you ever decide to come on, since he's been to more provinces than me. Of course, 3 of them in one trip. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Vox says, I've gone to Pennsylvania for lunch a couple of times on a day trip. How? Because Pennsylvania is like...
That is...
I was going to say 5 hours from here. Like I'm pretty sure it takes 4 hours to drive across New York State, abiding by the speed limit. Because there's a $1,000 bridge across that at the border, Charles, and then the border crossing turns right into the interstate for some reason. That's perfect.
You see is where is he starting? Yeah.
Charles and I have both asked Michael to come on as a guest, Amanda, but he's poo-pooed us. Of course, when he showed a photo of him standing on, I saw footings where there was no floor.
Yeah, there's something about renovation.
And it was outside. There was no walls either. And he says, we're doing a renovation. I'm like, that's not a renovation. That's an addition. Unless you tore it down to the bare minimum. I visited the Dutch Amish in Pennsylvania, Steve. Somehow I bought a souvenir Frisbee, Charles, but it had a horse and carriage on the Frisbee. And I thought, that's odd. And it was a plastic Frisbee, but it was cheap. So that's why I bought it, because they had like Frisbee for $1. What was that? Lancaster, I want to say.
Lancaster.
And then there was a steam engine you could ride on down around there, too. And they did that.
See, Glenn is having the same trouble you are. He says he's needed to set up his guitars more this year than ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't help that I don't have climate control this year, too. So it's higher humidity, higher temperatures. Because I find even running the central AC, it will cut down the humidity. It does pull so far out of the air.
Well, it's like here with all the rain we've been getting, I can't spray clear. I can't.
No. I was so happy to see it rain today. I'm like, yay. It didn't really help. It was still in the mid-80s. But it was one of those, I woke up this morning, Charles, it was already hotter inside than out, which doesn't usually happen. I'm usually, it usually gets unity around 5 p.m. So then I'll say, go ahead and open the windows, let the breeze, whatever. But I got up, it was like at 9, and it was 77 outside and 81 inside. And I went, well, this isn't pleasant. Let's open all the windows all day.
Well, I tell you though, here if our air conditioning breaks, it's cooler outside than inside.
Oof, yeah. Strasburg Railroad used to be one of our school field trips. That might have been it. My sister. I recall rolling green hills and fighting with my brother. Pennsylvania.
Right. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Well, I remember we took a trip to Scranton, Pennsylvania. Well, you know what was there, Charles? A bunch of wholesale liquidators that my dad used to go down to supply to this hobby shop, and he thought that would be a cool trip if we got to buy shit.
Is this the trip you came home with all the train sets and the car sets on?
No, that was him doing it solo. But that's where he bought them. He bought them all down there. Yeah, the flea markets, which was it was the wholesalers. Like, and I remember it was like an old school because you'd walk into all the classrooms and there were just boxes of shit with a box in front of them, like stacks of boxes with one open to show you what all the boxes were. And you open, it's like die-cast General Lee's. 5,000 of them. And the 2 boxes of dishes Mom wanted. Yeah, Mom bought a new set of dishes off wholesaler. Very 80s looking dishes. So 80s. BC grew up next to Scranton.
Yeah, Eddie, the sky is crying down here, and we got even more flash flooding watches this week. Of course, where all this stuff has happened is an hour and a half west of me, right?
My sister bought Dad an ashtray he's not loving. Nothing says love, but like an ashtray for Dad. Oh, speaking of which, sis, I found one of Dad's old pipes today. That's how he quit cigarettes. He switched to a pipe for a year or two. And then all that did, Charles, was slow down the conversation because he would say, well, you'd ask a question. He'd go, well, you see. And then take a drag off the pipe, ponder, exhale.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like,
well, Keith,
it's like this. Then another, I'm like, holy crap. One sentence and a puff off the pipe. No way.
Well, Keith H., for Ed's guitar, we went with a set of Wilkerson Telecaster pickups. And I am waiting for a project for that P90 you sent me. And I'm going to have to match those Strat pickups that you sent me to something.
I think
there's 2 of them.
That P90 might have to go into a certain pirate themed guitar, Charles. I'm just saying.
Well, the pirate theme thing is going to have something else in it.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. What do I know? Stuff.
I really don't think so, Vox.
Yeah, we're all glad that Charles is safe.
Yeah,
I knew it was okay because he was sending me cat memes daily, so that was good.
I'm fortunate. The area I'm in, we have flash flooding. It's just avoid the rural water crossings, right? Where they're having the flooding now, they get flash flooding all the time, and typically they can usually ignore it. But this stuff has just been hammering on in one spot.
Not to mention, it was like the river rose like 30 feet in 30 minutes type thing. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because the system just stalled right over them, right? It just poured it down. I've actually, the rivers out there where they're talking about flooding, the South Lano River, I've kayaked that several times. But yeah. But no, certainly hope those the folks out there are doing well in recovering, and they're still dealing with more potential flash flooding.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of what we saw happen with North Carolina last year. Mm-hmm. Like the aftermath, the optics with just the amount of just stacked debris against every bridge and abutment, and and that's how you got to get rid of that before the next storm hits, because there's going to be more crap coming down, and that just. Yeah. So there's that. Not to go dark, but Rob is in the chat, so there's that.
Oh. See, Ben Tom says this area is under flood watch.
Mine is not. I don't think I've mowed my lawn in almost a month, Charles.
I can't mow my back one, and it's getting really tall.
But now that it rained today, I have to. Poof! Immediately within the hour, I swear I saw it grow.
Oh no, mine is waist high, and I just can't cut it 'cause every time I have time to cut it, it rains.
Where is that? Well, I have a fix for that. You just tell the boy to do it.
Yeah.
That's my fix. Grass is very pokey. Yeah. Although there's so many wildflowers. Well,
Wow.
you want to say hi to Charles?
Well, hello there.
What's up, Boo Boo?
Well, she's vocal.
She made an
tonight.
appearance during Bad Album Covers, I told you last week.
Uh-huh.
She's like, that's not Charles talking about albums. Right? What's the matter? I cleaned your litter box. Pooh Ninja's here. Legend.
Hey, Pooh. She's still trying to get you to let her out.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, actually. Because it's just about dark. And the screen door is open, or the patio door.
Yeah, you have to say wildflowers and grass.
Yep. That's it, Boo Boo? You out of here? Just doing a lap? Came in, said hello, back out again? All right. What are you boys up to? Oh, you're doing your little show. Okay.
Oh, my. But we're injecting effective pacemaker.
That sounds like a Final Destination segment or something. That's what that sounds like.
Oh, for sure.
Or possibly Nightmare on Elm Street. Could go either way. Yeah, she did briefly, and then she left. Ed. So yeah. Any what do we got going on with the channel? We got the rest of Ed's probably stuff coming out.
We got the rest of Ed's we got the rest of Ed's guitar. We're gonna go ahead and do some wet sanding on that body, get it ready for its final layers of clear. And we'll be spraying clear on the headstock because that hasn't been done yet. Now it's taped off, ready to go.
Right.
And before we start with the Charles Green, I've decided that we're going to spray the clear on the Warlock shaped object now that it's ready to go.
Good
And
idea.
it won't be the prettiest thing I've ever done.
Well,
But since I can't get any more of that fabric, we're going to go ahead and finish that one out and get that project finished while we start on the Charles Green Poison Telecaster.
Nice.
And that body's going to need a little work before we get there.
Pissing me right off. Oh, now you're buzzing around my head. Oh, yeah?
Let's do that. So we'll get those done. We've got the Randy Crooks rebuild.
Right.
And so was able to get that fabric for that. And Steve Reeser was kind enough to send a set of fender locking tuners for that build.
And Sloppy Joe mix while doing it.
And the
like
fellow
you can feed that to the family, right? When's the Sloppy Joe stuff get eaten, Charles? Is that when Charles is home alone for a weekend?
It's going to have to be because my wife and I, we've been trying to eat healthier. And so when that came in, I didn't say nothing, and I just put the 2 cans of the manwich in the pantry there, and the bag of chips. And my wife was just like, "What is wrong with you?" I says, "I didn't buy it." But that was part of the Steve Reeser package. Yeah.
All right. First of all, she clearly doesn't remember how awesome Sloppy Joes are. It's a treat for a special occasion.
It is a treat for a special occasion, yes.
And that special occasion is, yeah. Now, how does the boy feel about Sloppy Joes?
The sloppier the better.
Right?
Yeah. He just went, there's this Chicago-based sandwich shop around here, and he got this sandwich the other day, and their whole thing is like the wet sandwich, right? Where they just put the au jus all over it and everything. And he got it home. My wife was like, "What is wrong with it? There's something wrong with your sandwich here."
No, that's what it's supposed to be. You might have to eat it with utensils, but it's going to be awesome.
Exactly. And he's like, he went through that sandwich in a time period. Like he literally walked into the room to get something, got his drink, came back, sandwich was gone.
Right. I bet.
He just didn't.
Why? Because it's fucking amazing like that. Who wants a soggy sandwich? Well, it's the tomatoes that made it soggy. Kind of sucks, but it's covered in au jus.
And it was completely covered in au jus. It was like, I think they just took the whole thing and dipped the whole sandwich.
Which is an interesting name for something that got popular south of the border.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you think, well, it must have been invented in Montreal or something. No. Montreal has Montreal smoked meat. We don't know what it is, but it's good.
Some things you just don't ask.
Don't care. It's kind of like corned beef, but different.
That's all. I've got a corned beef.
Marcel's going to correct us. Kind of like corned beef, but superior. Of course, there they probably just call it smoked meat, right?
Yes,
Charles applied. Slightly soggy, easier to chew. Exactly, Terry. Less need of a drink.
I think I'm going to make that corned beef this week.
I've had corned beef in ages. I should do corned beef at some point too. Oh, I can't. All the salt. That's why. Well, why haven't I had corned beef in ages? The salt, dumbass, right? Still, I could do it and then freeze sections for special occasions.
That's right. We'll just.
Like, I've been good all week eating my chicken and rice. I can have corned beef once.
Mm-hmm.
My sister says, do people in Quebec City frown at smoked meat? I wonder, there should be a city rivalry, right?
Yeah.
Smoked meat on rye bread with mustard. Now I'm hungry. See?
Yep.
Although I'll do mayo instead of mustard. I'm a mayo guy instead of mustard. But the rye bread is the thing.
It's all that stuff that's really bad for you that tastes so good.
Right. So the case. Man, I wish there was a decent deli around here. There isn't. Like a deli that makes sandwich, one thing to get deli meat, but when they also prepare the sandwiches in-house.
There's nothing like a good Reuben.
Right. Lisa's mayo for this is the food portion continuing, by the way, folks.
Oh.
Mayo for steak, mustard for ham. You know what? I've never done the mustard with ham. I should try that.
Why? You can sit there and make a good glaze with mustard for your ham.
Well, I can see that. Yeah, but I don't do the ham anymore either because that's all the salt.
Yes, it is. But yep, Cactus Deli bought that, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, as a Montrealer, it's easy to make fun of Quebec City because you're like, your town doesn't have a name. It's just a city and a province. Well, it's kind of like New York, I guess. Where are you, Quebec? What?
Oh, so some
don't get Marcel started on the city rivalries, folks. We could be opening up some lifelong wounds. We don't know. See, people in the chat love the Reubens.
Yeah, they do.
I'm assuming that Zach is eating Maltesers, Charles. That's what that is. Which
is that what it is?
Malt balls covered in chocolate.
Oh yeah, malted milk balls.
Yeah, exactly. Malted milk balls. Yeah. Do y'all get half smokes? That sounds like when you're sharing a cigarette with somebody. We'll have smoke. Half smokes. For the really little stubby cigarettes. They're great for when you just get a quick puff. Don't have time to go for an actual smoke.
When you only have time for a drag.
Yeah.
Apparently, everybody does.
Mark Taft says a bit of horseradish with Dijon mustard goes well on a smoked meat sandwich, in his opinion. I don't like the horseradish. I don't do the horseradish. Too much horse in it for me, Charles.
Oh, God.
I don't like it. Or no, they use the horses to stomp the radishes. That's what it is. But they don't clean the hooves enough. I can taste the hoof. Stephen Douglas is here, and he says, I put cherry hot relish on everything. Really? Everything?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And Keith, always with the stories, Charles. I slept on the roof of a train in a train yard in Montreal on this day in 1976. What the fuck?
On this day. The question is, was it by choice?
There's a story there. Wow.
See, that's the thing. He'll start stuff like that, but he won't come on the show and tell the whole story.
You guys don't want to hear about that. Yes, Keith.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. It says, well, most sandwiches. Okay. All right. And my sister and I still do the kid thing with, mustard relish and ketchup on both burgers and dogs, basically. Although I've been adding Cheese Whiz to hot dogs as of late, too, as a fourth topping. And I like it. Just a little schmear. Just a light schmear. If it wasn't meant to be had, why do they make cheese-filled hot dogs, Charles?
No, I'm thinking, use real cheese, not Cheese Whiz. Not cheese.
It's a hot dog. Why waste real cheese on a hot dog? It's not really meat. It's barely meat.
Because every food should have at least one real thing in it.
You got your ketchup, which is barely a tomato. I'm just saying. The relish, it's barely a cucumber. Yeah.
Oh, Michael B.
Michael B. I've said it before, man. Keith is Forrest Gump. He's just I swear, if we start looking through all these photos, there's Keith. There's Keith. There's Keith. He's had a life. He's had several. I'd like to read that biography.
I would too, because the first time,
be all the thickness.
First time Keith told the story, I was like, yeah, right. And then, we're in the Water Buffalo meeting, and he starts going into the details, and okay, I guess maybe so. But he has to, you're right. He's got all these little stories like that. You're like, we need to string these all together.
There we go. Michael B. Member milestone for 40 months. Says, happy birthday, Keith H. Best stories in the biz.
That's right.
Wow. Exactly. His sister's quote. Keith, to quote Keith, this chick named Janice sang some songs with me. She's like my Harpoon bandana. I wonder where she is now. Oh, well. Right. You can see Keith totally telling with that with a straight face, Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the thing, because he could pull our leg on occasion, and we'd never fucking know it because he could say something that just sounds plausibly true, and we'll believe because he says so many things. Like, I'm just like, who are you?
I say you take my brother, and you take Keith H, and you take Ryan Hall, and you put them all in a room with a bunch of beer, cameras everywhere, and we just stream it.
But not obvious cameras, so then you lose the inhibition of being in front of cameras, typeface, exactly. Yeah. Well, you got all your fancy webcams, zooming and moving around. You just got that placed around the room. Charles is directing from a truck outside, just like it's a hockey game. It's all good.
Yeah, you have some fun with that.
And for those wondering, Hazeberry is the strain of the day. It's quite nice.
Hazeberry?
Hazeberry. I forget. It's a hybrid of two different things, and I don't remember. Trev looked it up. He's got some weed database. He looks stuff up. He goes, it's fucking Google, Coombs. It's not some fucking database. It's fucking Google.
The thing that kills me is that he can get his delivered like that.
This is another one. Once I missed this plane. Guess it crashed. Last time I talked to my friend Buddy. Wonder where he is now. Oh, well.
Oh, I love it.
Dave sounded awfully Canadian. Right on. Sorry. Beers and internet. My bad. Sorry.
Love it.
Cat sitting on the steps. A hurdle. All right. I have a cat.
He was getting pretty loud there, too.
Since I think I got that fly. Of course, I hit it with a cloth, and he was sitting on the headstock of the Strat off camera, and damn near knocked the Strat over in the process.
Yeah, I love it.
Thinking, oh dear, do I drop the joint to save the guitar? Dilemmas! Yes! Yes, you do.
Well, it's like, what is the guitar going to hit into, right?
Space heater, actually, right next to it.
Ah.
Right? You're back. What's up? You know something's up. Look at this. Yeah, just strum once and you're gone. Hate me that much. Yep, thanks. Joe McGraw in the house.
Yeah, Joe McGraw, that is a...
Asked and answered. No.
That's been asked and answered, but it's a Gretsch 5120.
See, and then the mic drop moment. I could write a good book over 2 weeks in 1979. That alone, right? He's like, a biography. It looked like a fucking encyclopedia set when Keith's done. It's just all sorted by years, right? Maybe 2 or 3 years together. Oh, yep.
It would be fun.
So many questions. So you got your eye on any new gear?
Honestly, I don't. I haven't really been looking at anything at all. I know there is a there was a PV Blues Cube or whatever they call it, the PV Blues
Delta Blues.
It's a local pawn shop. Delta Blues. Delta Blues, right?
Yeah, 115.
Yeah. And so a fella's kind of had his
you need another amp. Like you need another amp. How often do you plug in, right? Like
well, I don't need
hot kettle.
Yeah. I don't need another amp, but it was the only thing that I've seen recently that I was like, oh, that would be cool. Right?
Nice. So obviously, yeah, anything like on, well, is there any on the dream list, like type, like, no, like when I come across, like, I assume you want a jet of some kind, because that kind of scratches the Les Paul itch without actually having a Les Paul.
Right. Yeah. So I still want the Cadillac green jet, right? Still want that with the Bigsby, and it's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker if it doesn't have the Bigsby, right? So
you can't have a hardtail Gretsch, Charles. I'm just saying.
No, you can't.
What's the point?
It's not a Gretsch. We've had it.
Malcolm Young seemed to do okay with a hardtail Gretsch, Charles. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm not Malcolm, so. But no, so that one's on the list. I think the Violin Burst 60 Strat with the double bound, 60 Telecaster double bound. That's there in the back of my mind. Of course, the Whalen Telly's always in the back of my mind.
Well, yeah, that's the unicorn, right?
The George Harrison Rosewood Telly.
I played one of those once.
Yeah.
A lot of rosewood.
Those are the things that are there, but it's not anything I'm actively looking for.
Right.
And then, of course, an orange Japanese Gretsch.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I've got a bit of a shopping list too, and none of them are cheap. It really hurts.
No,
it's one of those. I have a list of probably 6 guitars. And I'm going to be lucky if I get one of them in my life.
Yeah. Well, I settled down. I'm really happy with the stuff that I have between the stuff that I've done, and I've got the American Strat. I've got a nice Mexican Telly. I've got I've got the Gretsch behind me, and I absolutely love the Guild. So, I've got enough gear that I'm happy with. Now it's just, if I'm going to buy something, it's going to be something that I really want to have, as opposed to it's just a good deal.
Right. Yeah, Matt had to buy something with a big speed to feel complete.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some better Gretches.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are okay, but that's the problem, Charles. They're okay, and so I'm not as in love with them as I once was. But that's only because, I'm becoming more snobbish in my hermit life. So that's fine. What?
I think that's kind of natural, though. As you start working through different stuff, like I find myself doing it now, right? It's like, okay, now that I've got the American Strat, I'm real happy with that. I don't even really look at Strats anymore. So I'm like, okay, that's all I need.
Yeah, it's like I want a good Gretsch with some TV Jones in it, because it's the pickups is the weak. Like, they're better than they used to be,
right?
But I know they can still be better than that. That something with a big speed that goes with. So maybe like something orange from Japan with some TV Jones and a big old stick. Definitely. Well, top of the list basically is. Well, speaking of, there's D. White Bailey in the house. That's a ricochet thing. Is a Lester Palfus. That's a kind of a hole in the collection. I've got a lot of stuff that kind of cover that, but not a complete coverage. Because,
well, and the thing is, if you start looking at that too, if you want that, are you really at this point have the heart set on the Murphy Lab, right?
Well, I do, but no, I can. There's others I can live without. Fortunately, Charles. I played that Murphy Lab March of last year. Since that time, I've smoked a tremendous amount of marijuana, which has helped put a filtre on the feeling of, and I've also played at least 100 guitars since then, which also helps. And so I can get back to, like, if I find the right Gibson USA, or ideally is finding a custom shop at a Gibson USA price.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. Cool Tunes Made Easy. What's up, buddy?
Greasy Monkey says a gold paisley penguin is pretty shimmy.
I think all penguins should be black. Although black paisley, nasty. I don't like black finishes unless it's just black. It's like, do I want a white Falcon? They are a little much. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Do I want to? It seems like a bit much when I can get something like a Country Gentleman that'll do all the same thing without, like, that headstock's a bit much on the white Falcon with the big V. It's almost Dean-esque,
Yes. Yeah.
And then everything has gold metal flake binding. Everything.
Well, I think I'm going on a Gretsch, a Chet Atkins is actually a real, Country Gentleman is a really good way to go.
Yeah. I thought about an Eddie Cochran, but he's got the P90 in it, and that's mismatched pickups, and I don't like mismatched pickups. What? I'm doing a show. Oh, you're looking. Oh, yeah. Kitty litter is on the shopping list. She wanted me to remind. Okay. Yes, I need to get more kitty litter soon. I got a little bit left. Don't worry, I can top up the box. Just go. She doesn't understand.
She understands. She just has some priorities.
Actually. You know what? I'll be right back.
All right, you do that. But no, I mean, talking about other gear that I've been looking at, I kind of got caught up with trying to find a lot of the old LPD pedals.
There we go.
So it's just kind of bringing folks up to date. Other than really,
yeah. I saw your brother's comment. Oh yeah, Charles into pedals now too. Yeah, well, Charles is he's a unique individual. I'm gonna say there's those of us that have been playing for quite a while, and we would get what we could for pedals because it was hard to find pedals and stuff. Okay, and they were expensive. Most is funny because I was watching something on Rev Amp's channel, the show they do with Joey Landreth, the Golden Age of Gear or something. I think it's called. Mm-hmm. It's really good, and they were saying how pedals in the late 80s were over $100, and if you do the math by today's standard, that's like $500 pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
So even used, they were, and you never saw them used, especially around here. It's a small town. And so, and then you got people nowadays, a lot of them, will buy something cheap off the Jungle website, your little micro pedals and this and that, or I don't know, but no, Railbox. Charles is like boutique. Railbox.
Well,
you only have one non-boutique pedal, I think.
Yeah. Well, two. Yeah. One's the tuner.
Oh, you got two. Touche. All right. So he's got a tuner. Yeah. And then he's got the Whalen Phaser, which would be considered mainstream.
Yeah. And that's not quite boutique, but that's there.
It's boutique adjacent. Although I don't think it was a limited run. So.
No. And then we got that Goss tape echo, that TC Electronics Goss tape echo.
So 3. We're up to 3. Yeah. Other than that, all boutique.
Yeah. But it's you learn that it's you guys have all tried the bad stuff from me, so
there is that. And plus, that's what if you're like, hey Ben, what do you recommend for this pedal? I'm like, well, my recommendation is going to be something good because I like good pedals too.
Exactly. And but you sit there, you find you already know that, and it's like, me, I'll get something as cheap as I can get it, right? And so I'm paying for a Phoenix, what someone else is paying for some Joyo pedal.
Right. I like Matt's comment here. Well, he hangs with a bunch of pedal snobs, so it's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen.
What's up, Cheech?
Yeah, I got myself a blues driver, and then nobody's excited, right? No. Hey, I found an old Dutch. Oh, well, let's talk about this for a while.
Yeah. Which variant?
That is one of the pedals that I would really like to find is an old Lost Dutchman.
Oh, that's hen's teeth.
I know it is, but
I was talking with somebody about that. I'm not naming names and times and places, but recently wasn't aware that I had a signature pedal, and I was explaining how at that time frame, LPD, when he did a limited run, it was 25 pedals, maybe 30, maybe. And so, Lost Dutchman, I think he only did 1, maybe 2 runs of the actual Lost Dutchman. I think it was only 1 run before it was renamed the Dutch. I could be wrong. But I
think it was 1, maybe 2 runs. And
that would be 25 or 50 plus, let's say, 3 to 4 prototypes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's including 1 he holds back for himself.
Right. And so I've been trying to find all the old script ones, right? And I got a script 74, and I got a script 86. Look at the 74 anyway.
Matt's quoting like it actually happened. Nice new pedal. Then we would instantly tell him, open the back up. Well, especially the script stuff for like who's it signed to?
Right, whose was it?
Were signed, and especially with LPD, quite often we'll know the person who is the original owner of said pedal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Matt owns Jose Benito Martinez Jr.'s nice drive, eh?
No, we're not saying that at all.
One of them in the wild, which is so weird. So I'm like, it's super rare. He goes, fuck you, it's not. I'm like, it is. We only did 2 runs, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll fuck you. And boom, he finds one. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, I mean, I was so happy because I had the script 68, and then I got the 87, right, and then I got the 74. It's like, I got the 3. Okay, good.
I don't have a 74. I had a 74. I still
You had one though, right?
Yeah, I traded it for a Wampler Pinnacle Deluxe, and that was a bad move. In theory, both pedals should have been similar. They weren't. They weren't.
And so now I'm just trying to find, some of the, I'd like to find some of the older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's really hard to find is the mini pedals.
Mm-hmm.
When he did, because he was almost exclusive mini pedals to start, and then he had both, and then he got rid of the minis. Which by minis, folks, they're like one knob, little things of goodness.
Yeah, it's just one knob and a button.
This was my first LPD pedal, which is a Saguaro, which is a dirty boost, basically a Klon.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty boost. And then La Choya, which is when I put this in front of an amp, I went, oh! Like just as a color, Charles, which, with no control of the color, which totally put, because it's supposed to be just basically a clean boost.
Right.
But it will push because these have, let's say up to 20 dB of push. I went, oh my God, this is going to be my secret sauce. And then this was the inspiration for my signature pedal. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we need to turn this into a 4-knobber. He's like, I think I can do that. I'm like, can you do that? He's, I think I can do that. Awesome. And this, even for basses, this pushing an Ampeg, sitting at about there, we'll say, which is just a nice. Let's say it turns it into a Klon level dirtiness. Not a lot. What's up, Paul? Thanks.
Paul.
You're welcome. To the point where I was using this on bass the last time I played live, and we did a sound check, and I'm playing clean. All of a sudden, I kicked that in and started do. The guy came. He's like, "What is that? What did you do? What did you do?" Local musician, right? He's like, "How did that sound better?" I'm like, "Oh, it's my little Choya pedal." He's like, "What's an LPD?" I'm like, "The cool kids know about LPD." He's a cool kid. And if Ken's still listening, that was Rory. So yeah. But yeah, this, what? This might go back on my board. Just to push everything.
A tie-dye version of the G. Lynch Tiger.
Tie-dye version of a George Lynch Tiger? Good.
If I had the shirt, sure.
Yeah. You got to find the shirt for him to wrap the guitar with. That's the key. Does such a shirt exist? But yeah, these are getting super hard to find. So, folks, if you find them, snag them.
There are a couple of other of the ones that I've been bidding on, but not getting the price I wanted. So,
all right. First of all, when it comes to, let's call these vintage boutique pedals, because they're getting close to that, because it's been the better part of 10 years. You're going to have to pay more than 40 cents on the dollar, Charles. You may have to go as high as 42. Okay? I'm just saying. You got to loosen the belt a little. Okay, you don't have to totally produce the fabric. Just get the pattern put on the fabric, Dave. Dave's there with a fucking loom. Motherfucking Charles. God damn it. Is this what it takes to get one of his custom guitars? First of all, he goes, first thing I got to do is raise a sheep. Then I got to shear the sheep. Seems like a lot of work, but I've seen your end result, and it seemed pretty good. So
it's funny.
Ed says he wants to get the downstep pedal, which I assume is like the Digitech drop type thing on Amazon. Have to wait 218. Ooh, yeah, that's probably the Digitech drop, I would imagine.
That's that one, the active drop.
You know, a fellow was thinking himself about doing that, Charles, because some music I want to play that's down a full step. And
tunings?
I don't feel like setting up a guitar in D standard, which I have. Well, I have a guitar set up in D standard, but it's my Mockingbird, and I don't like playing my Mockingbird because it digs right into here, and it's not comfortable at all to play. So a fella, ideally would have a Les Paul in D standard, but I was like, for fuck's sakes, well, no, because I need two Les Pauls, and I can't afford one Les Paul. So, but I can afford a Les Paul and a Digit Drop. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So I'm just waiting to see when in used. Ooh. Oh, wait, I don't have a budget right now. But when I have a budget, I'll have pros on the used. See, oh, we got one at the fucking Edmonton store. Blah, 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 blah. Bring it on home.
There you go.
You live by that pedal, Matt. Let's be honest. It's weird, though. He uses one to go down and then the one right after it to go back up again. I don't understand. They cancel each other out.
How does that work?
Yeah, right? He said, what happens if I go into an octave down, into an octave up? Does it just come out the same? It should.
Or would it come? I don't know. I would think that changing it down and changing it back up, it couldn't be the same as it came in.
No, it's kind of like taking a relaxant, like taking a Valium and some cocaine. One's an accelerant, one's a ease off. But guess what? They don't counteract you back to, I'm sober again. Fuck exactly. No. You're far from it. Because you go up, you go down, but you end up over here or over here. You're not here. Yeah, same algorithm as Digitech Whammy, exactly.
Yeah.
And though Whammy pedals, they're pricey. A fabric wrap cigar box guitar. That's
nice.
Your job's a piece of cake. Nothing but 90-degree corners. Fuck, you'll knock that out in an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up, it's already raw wood. You basically just clean it. Of course, you'd leave it so you can still open it for servicing.
Of course.
Yeah, put the stash in. It's not a cigar box, a stash box. Next thing you know, Charles is in jail because he's not allowed to build stash boxes in his particular jurisdiction.
No. It's an art object. What's that in half a day?
We got 48 people still watching. Awesome. Please hit the like if you haven't already. We're going to go for a little while longer here.
Give the fellow a like.
Got up to 74.7 in here with 79% humidity, so I'm trying not to move too much.
I don't even want to think about what it was today.
Yeah, for display purposes only. Exactly. My favorite, Charles, was back in the 90s. You go in a convenience store, they had a whole bunch of bongs, but they'd have little business cards stuck in them, not even a sticker, that said for tobacco use only.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Tobacco use only. I don't know about you, Charles. I've never ever seen anyone smoke tobacco out of a bong. I've seen tobacco smoked in cigarette form, cigar form, cigarillo form, pipe even, but not ever.
Not at all.
Zach says, I recently found out that there's a Long McQuaid in Bowmanville now. Yes, there is. Will still says, bong schmongs. You could build a cool bong. Just saying. All the best ones are glass. hand-blown glass bong. Those things are like $300. Easy.
Well, we got our buddy William De Silva that makes some pretty.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's there in the chat. I can't smoke bongs anymore, though. By the way, William, fellow was using this the other night, and Charles, did William make that? That's the first time. It's a little dirty, but yeah. It's all yellows and there's a couple reds in there, so let's get darker now.
I tell you, his stuff is just a real work of art. I mean,
tis some leftover stuff here. Let's get rid of that.
It's absolutely beautiful.
This should be nice since I last smoked this last Monday. Oh yeah, that.
Look at Ben Tom.
That's eating up some stale leftovers.
Ben Tom, my college roommate was.
Fun fact, Charles. It was poor William, that sent something through UPS that started the whole.
He started the whole UPS thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, longer the better, William. Like, I find most pipes are too short; they're too hot. But if something longer, Charles, if it can be done, especially some wizardy, I don't know, somehow with a curved stem, like it's all like psychedelic Sherlock Holmes pipe or something.
Oh yeah, like Meerschaum kind of stuff like that.
Ooh,
I do have pictures of all the guitars I've done, but there's videos on all of them on the channel. And
$80 to get that package back, Charles.
$80 to get it back?
To get it back from ransom.
No. Yeah. But yeah, Joe.
Okay, I got you, Ben. All right. Well,
here you go.
You are the glass man.
He is.
Eddie. Easy, Eddie. It's bad enough that they always put a fucking helmet on the end. Like, it always looks a little phallic to begin with. That's bad enough. Yeah, no fallacy if we can, William. I'd rather a non-phallic, Ed says, I like Lord of the Rings. Well, yeah, like a total, like a wizard pipe. It's all down here, Charles, which is great on a windy day because you can go around, Or I kind of like the idea of Irish, British, just a ceramic pipe.
Mm-hmm.
But they break so easy. Okay, no problem. See, we've seen his work.
The man can do it.
He's an artist.
He is.
Yeah. He's Washington State or Oregon? I want to say West Coast.
Oregon. Yeah.
Oregon. And he says, and for that reason, I'm not putting anything like that to my lips. Yet.
Thank you, Joe.
Oregon. Also, Keith H. in Oregon.
Oh, yeah?
Wonder if they know each other. They're like, yeah, we're both fucking here, asshole.
Yeah. He might have said hello.
Yeah. So if you haven't already, folks, it's in the chat description, link to Charles' channel. Apparently none of the moderators tonight can be bothered to put a link to your channel. Charles is like, wait, I'm one of those fucking moderators.
Guys. Hey, but I did drop BC Rich's channel in the chat.
Oh, well, there we are. Yeah, I enjoy Rob's offbeat bass gear, which doesn't match BC Rich 581. I hate it when the handles don't match. It's like the carpet not matching the drapes. That's what that is.
No, but it is a good channel.
Yeah,
it's
enjoyable. And we get to talk to Rob next week, which will be fun. Because I have so many questions, like from a bass side of things, and he's a bit of a gear junkie that way. Like he knows his stuff in that respect, Charles, and I don't know any of that stuff. Like, it's so different. Like, you want to use a solid state instead of tube more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
They have the onboard effects in the amp, but they're actually good. Whereas as well as I do, every amp, it's got onboard effects. That's not a good thing. That's never a good thing. Other than the Roland Jazz Chorus. Let's be honest. The Roland Jazz Chorus, because it's like Boss Chorus in there.
Yeah, and that's one of those amps you kind of find out about as you get into guitar is that everyone's talking about it, and at a time where you're hearing everyone say only tube amps, and then you hear Roland Jazz Chorus, and you realize, oh, this is a solid state one, and it's got effects on it. Okay, but
I'm not
I
saying
guess
that.
it's the exception to the rule.
Uncle Larry mentioned in a video the other day, like there was like, is there any vintage gear left that doesn't cost armored legs? Yeah, JC 120s, old JC 120s. They're still quite cheap in the grand scheme of things. I was looking at one of the littler ones. It was obviously wasn't 120, but I want to say it was only like 20 or 40 or something like that. But then they say it had like a direct out. So I'm like, ooh, so that could be into the computer for the digitals, right? You start with that. Yeah. I'm like, all right. You've got me interested. Although I suppose, at some point, kicking and screaming, I'm going to have to interface my gear into the digital world. Can't be a Rodecaster, though, Charles. I got to be the last person to get a Rodecaster. That's how that works. I was picturing some like Nitro finishes, like X Games Nitro. It's like It's a Mountain Dew commercial in a finish, basically.
Well, it was like I've talked about this with Charles Green before, and if you do a Nitro finish, you need to go with a Nitro sanding sealer. I mean,
yes,
there's stuff that says you don't have to, but if you're trying to make something quality, you better.
Yeah, because it can delaminate. It can happen. Yes, it shouldn't, but it can. And also, you're like, why does it look like there's air underneath the entire finish? Oh, that's because your top coat's about to fall off.
And but it's his thing was I want to kind of see it over time wear away and get down to the fabric and let the fabric fray a little bit. And I'm like, I had to think about it.
It was against your grain.
I was choosing my words very carefully, and I was just like, "Yeah, we could do it."
That's like you going to Paul Reed Smith, for a master built 10 top. It's the most beautiful guitar, right? And you're just about to, you're going to come to pick it up because it's just the best of the best. And Paul himself comes out, Charles. He's like, "So what do you think?" You go, "Yeah, but before I take it home, can you take it out back and beat the shit out of it for me?"
Exactly. Oh, and it's just like it's I get it. It's a look that some folks like, and you get a Nitro finish and you can get that kind of character that you put into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shows your journey with that guitar. I just can't. I don't understand the whole buy it relic thing. My guitar got relic because
it depends.
That's its journey.
And I only say it depends. Like I understand buying, say, a relic Murphy Lab of a 59 because you and I aren't even buying the shittiest of shitty 59 Les Pauls, right? So I get that in a sense, but like this, which is what they call most modern style relics, which is what you do is wherever you see no paint, they just put a vinyl sticker on the guitar prior to painting the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're done painting, they pull off all the little stickers and then it looks relict. Looks okay on camera, from a distance, probably look okay. Like if you're on stage and but when you actually go, oh, wait, why are none of the edges sharp? Well, because they actually did a quick sand after the paint job, which knocks down all the edges, which now it doesn't feel relict. If they left the edges sharp, yes, because I remember myself with old guitars, Charles, sanding down edges to avoid it chipping further or taking super glue along the edges to keep it from chipping further. Because this would devalue the guitar. The more chips out of it each chip was a couple of bucks off the resale price.
Right.
Well, I'm not looking to sell it. Yeah, but guess what? When I started playing, Charles, you were still well, I got to trade in this on the next one, or I got to sell this to buy that. Because it's going to be selling this with and then adding money to upgrade or something.
Mm-hmm. But you see, I get that whole thing of it's my guitar, and I accidentally took the headstock and put it in the ceiling fan, and now it's got a dent and a scratch. And
I told you to keep that a secret.
Sorry.
Well, I know Gibson headstocks break off easy. Not fucking Epiphones, Charles. Not fucking Epiphones. I had to hit the front, the back, the side. It's been that so many. There's chunks out of the headstock.
Mm-hmm.
Never broke. Don't know how it never broke. There's no volute because that's hogwash. But yeah, as I look at it over there, a retired Les Paul. I've got a lot of retired Les Paul shaped objects that are just worn out. Because I don't feel like putting a bunch of money into them. Because there's no point. Well, it is if you love playing them. I don't, though. You know, like, I get, all right, did the job, but I've played better since then, and I know better exists.
Yeah, Ben Tom. The old wood. It's not about the sound; it's about the stability of the wood.
My vintage guitars, I barely ever have to do a truss rod adjustment.
Well, yeah, you get all that grain that's so much tighter together, right? And so it's a whole lot more
so dried and cured. Because just because you got paint on the finish coat, your wood still does cure over time.
Mm-hmm. That's why you get some of those, you get some of those guitars that they built with wet wood because the paint is chipping off in all the curved areas, right?
Or the paint's all wavy with the grain. Yeah. Like, you're like, didn't they sand and seal that before they painted? Oh yeah, it was a mirror finish from the factory. But the entire
before I did that, the Junior, the back of that was, like a ski slope, it was in terms of the grain all over it. You can see it. It's like, how did this ever make it out of the factory? Well, it didn't. It made it out of the factory and it looked great. Yep. And over time, that happened.
All it takes is like a nice, really dry winter, for instance. Like, I'm still there. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, Charles, but I'm sitting at a fellow's place one day, and his guitar is sitting on a stand across from me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a guitar I know well. And I started noticing the waves and the finish, right? That wasn't there previously. And then the closer I look at it, I realize the pickup rings, the long pieces, are bowed out because the guitar shrunk so much that they're becoming oval-shaped pickup rings. I was like, wow, that is some wet new wood. But the guitar retail for $200. So what do you expect?
It's funny,
I was shocked. For instance, Mark Taft, shout out Mark Taft. He's got a 2004 Squier Affinity Strat.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that a Squier Affinity guitar hasn't folded in half in 21 years is baffling to me. Like, that guitar should have fallen apart. Like, I've got one that I still haven't finished working on, where the guitar all of a sudden, the two of the neck screws all of a sudden decide, I'm not holding anymore, and they'll just right out.
Well, my original number one was a 20th anniversary Squier Strat, and it's still here, and it's still very playable.
Yeah, shocking.
I mean, like, I paid
literally bottom line guitar that's still playable after 20 years.
Yeah, and I paid all of $45 for it.
I don't think he plays it that much, Charles. He claims to play. I don't think he plays it that much.
No, but I have mine, and I play mine.
Right.
I love that feeling of I will pick up that Squier Affinity, and then I'll pick up the American.
And you're like, oh. Yeah. First of all, you're like, oh, it's heavy. No, that's what a guitar is supposed to weigh.
Well, and I think the other thing is the thickness of the body, right? And it really makes a difference in the way it sits.
Yeah. Well, I think a square body is usually thinner.
Okay. Yeah, as I say, the square body is thinner, and
which will affect balance. Like, because if the neck is the same dimension, then it should be more neck side.
You're not holding them both the same.
Yeah,
it's different. Yep, and the purple people eater that I did for William DeSilva was a 20th anniversary Squire as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that was a beautiful one. That's the one. The pattern makes all 3D, and then we had the shaky table. Remember?
Fuck off! I remember that now. I almost puked watching that, William. I'm like, how is he? He was sanding, and the table's moving, and the guitar is moving, but the pattern was staying the same. And I'm like, how? Like, I thought I was tripping balls. I really thought I was tripping balls, folks, because the guitar is doing this, but the pattern was. It was just whatever the frame rate was. You were like if you were shooting at 50 frames per second, you were scrubbing at 50 frames per second.
Yeah, it was.
So
yeah, we were
the strobe effect was the fact that the pattern was just there. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was 60 frames a second, and we're standing at 60 frames a second.
You know, people should check out if you want to watch a video on Charles' channel. That's the video. That's and. I have one of these on the go because it'll creep up while you see because he starts out slow and it moves, and then all of a sudden the guitar is moving, but the fabric isn't. And I was like, whoa. It's a trip.
Tom says when he did a nitrogen guitar for the first time, he think he had a headache that lasted for a week or two.
Ventilation.
The damage. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. You got to be.
You can't be just pulling the t-shirt up over your nose.
You need a full respirator with good filters on it.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing for the clear that I use. That stuff will mess you up.
Dave, you don't have to go back to the 80s. I was tripping balls on my birthday. You can ask this guy that. He knows that. He ate a shit ton of mushrooms and decided then to do a live stream. Nope, not doing that again.
Yeah, no more shaky table, thanks to Ed. There you go.
Yeah. Speaking of, somebody was talking about going out kayaking. And I immediately thought of you two. Who the fuck was that? Might have been Steve Reeser. Steve. I think Steve was talking about doing some kayaking.
Oh yeah, he put that comment in the chat earlier. Yeah, you don't want that stuff in your lungs spent, Tom.
No, especially he's all sickly and stuff. Yeah. That's not good. He'd probably embalm himself or something accidentally. That's not good. Less work for the mortuary, but not good for you.
Well, the thing about that is too, you're
Charles has said a few curses in his videos, especially when you watch till the very end. But there you don't know, folks. Quite often there'll be an Easter egg at the end, like it's an outcut. And then there's ones where he forgets to edit out because he takes the breath to start and he repeats it again, so you get to see the full version of that too, which I always love. I was like, you're getting that while hanging out with some potheads or something.
Probably
missed that one. Missed that edit, Charles. But still. By the way, I forgot to tell you about this. Your latest video with the binding and the scraping. How about no fucking volume on that? I almost puked 14 times watching that. All it is fingernails on a fucking blackboard for. Oh, I'm like, come on, end. Cat hated it.
I did think about taking the sound off of that for that reason, but I didn't want to do the overdubbing of it. So
you should have. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cat wanted me to thumbs down. I'm like, we can't. It's Charles. She's like, fuck Charles.
Well, how long did that sit in the can, though?
Months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Steve went kayaking today. There we go. Yep. Great form of exercise, Steve. My first inside baseball troll of Charles on his channel.
No, it's I get the whole natural wear of doing the nitro, but I spend so much time on those finishes that I'm like, let's do the poly so it'll last forever.
Well, there's that, but I also get it. Nitro on the neck, poly on the body, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Most people that use nitro, they use it so sparingly due to EPA reasons.
Yeah.
That you get just a skim coat that it does wear off at an accelerated rate, even compared to traditional guitars. Or Spike Gibson, they're all fucking nitro, and it because it's like my Explorer, Charles. You only ever see it. I sit it in my lap. I'm not wearing a strap. I'm not wearing a belt buckle. That thing's getting worming. There's a new ding every time I look at it. I don't know where it's getting dinged.
Well, if we had done nitro on your guitar, right, on your Kramer,
yes,
and in the time that you were outside to unbox it, it would have yellowed.
Yeah, I know. It just been sitting in the sun yellowing throughout the video, and you can see it changing. If you watch it double time, you notice the change happen quicker.
Mm-hmm. Right, and Marcel's right. In a nitro can react with colors.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes forever to gas off. It's for sure.
I also don't like it when the nitro is really fresh because I'll demo a guitar, and then when I go to put the guitar back, there's an imprint of my T-shirt on the back of the guitar. Just saying. Whoops. Transferred some of the silk screen into the fit. Oh no. Now a fella always borrows a micro mesh cloth, Charles. Well, and the other one is with the weather we've had, which is basically similar to yours. They don't really have climate control in the lesson rooms,
right?
So I've gotten a few guitars rather greasy while shooting a demo, and I'm just like, I can't hang that back up, because you'll just see a big smear, and I'm like, no, that's just nasty. We can't do that. Yeah, Case touched his guitar, nitro paint ruined. What's up, Mayhem? Well, we've gone a couple hours, Charles, somehow, some way. I just realized on. So you got Guitar Safari this Friday?
We got a Guitar Safari this Friday. We will have a chat with Charles, even if it's me talking to myself.
All right. I was like, well, if you need me, but I did the last one, and I wasn't very fucking reliable. I literally showed up with moments to spare. I still made to do a lot in that fucking 9.5 minutes before the show started.
He's coming. He's coming. He really is.
Yeah. Ben finally snoozes, wake up, roll over. What time is it? I gotta do Charles show. Oh shit, we're live in 10 minutes. Fuck. I tell you, I didn't really need the coffee. That really wakes you up when you're like, oh no. Like, what? The cat's all like, what's going on?
Well, see, I didn't even think anything of it until about right there at 10 when I texted you, because it's Ben. He'll be here when he gets here.
I was out cold. Thank God I rolled over. I was like, I was tired. Yeah, so there we go. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our good friend Charles. He does great content. There we go. Ed's volunteering if you can't get anybody else. So there we go.
Appreciate that. I have some lines in the water.
Yeah. I got BC Rich 581, aka Rob's Offbeat Bass Gear. I don't know. BC's Offbeat Bass Gear. That's it. I don't know. Water Buffalo meeting this Wednesday. Thanks, Marcel. Letting us know, Charles. You see that?
Yeah.
Letting the fellow know.
Appreciate that.
Oh, Marcel, check your messages in a few. Just saying. Okay. And I'll be back tomorrow. Well, with Charles. We'll give away some channel memberships, and we'll look at some bad album covers. We'll do some Q&A. Although, really, Charles, there might be 2 or 3 questions in a show these days. We pretty much asked all the questions. I still got answers.
It's true.
What else?
Well, I think
this week. Don't know, Charles. Haven't made them yet.
That's right.
That's my plan for tomorrow.
You know, Ben, I'm thinking now that you've got a Waylon phaser,
yes,
I think you need to learn a bunch of Waylon songs and just do a Monday night of all Waylon.
All Waylon on a Monday? That's a lot. That's a full set of Waylon. Really? How many songs have you learned lately, Charles? Most people will request
hopefully at least one this week.
Most people will request a song. Jeff K, right? This guy requests a whole set. A whole set. And I can just see the people that are, they know of Waylon, but they're like, fuck, is he going to play the phaser all night? It's like, yes. Yes, I am, because that's what he did. There's a couple songs he didn't use a phaser, but they weren't hits.
What does that tell you?
Phasers for the win. All right. Set your phaser to stun? No, set it to Waylon. And Johnny Paycheck. Right. Well, there's no Johnny Paycheck that's really guitar based. It's more lyrical with a handful of just G, C, and D seventh or something.
Yeah.
Or A, D, and E seventh. It's always your fifth. It's a 1-4-5, Charles. And the 5 is always a fucking 7th in country. Always. You think it sounds kind of bluesy, but when you do it, it's more country. Mm-hmm. That's why my father had to stop playing after he hurt his pinky finger, because a lot of 7th chords involve pinkies. So learn your 7th chords, folks.
Well, yeah.
That's my word of advice. So there we go. Michael Kress is looking forward to extending his losing streak. Well, one can hope. We all have goals. And, you're not getting a piano membership in 1 hour.
You know that? If he wins one, we're not going to know what to do.
He better fucking show up at a Buffalo meeting if he wins one. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Well, you know how it works, Charles. Hold the line here. And thanks, everybody that tuned in tonight. Special thanks to anybody that contributed tonight. Helps. I got to buy kitty litter, apparently, and milk. That's the 2 things this week. I'm good on groceries otherwise. Those are the 2 that I think, in a few days I'm going to have to buy. Yay.
Thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure, Charles. And there you go, Michael. As good as chocolate and peanut butter. Joe McGraw became a new member, Charles.
There you go. See?
Yay. Well, that's awesome, Joe McGraw. We hope to see you at a Water Buffalo meeting.
That's right.
As well. They're fun. There's certain members of the community, Charles, I'll just say this, that are pay-per-view only.
Oh, yeah.
Paul McNary, pay-per-view only. Marcel LeBlanc, pay-per-view only. Just saying. If you want to meet them, I suggest you become a channel member or a patron.
That's right. You have to.
It's got to go unload the car now with all the mosquitoes. Actually, it's Maine. They're probably too cold for mosquitoes by then. Yeah, it's always fun, Joe. It's a cavalcade of characters. I can't say stars, but definitely a cavalcade of characters. Holy shit. And it's not a cult, but it is a cult. It's a cult. So, hold those doors open. Let Ed in ahead in traffic. He's in the middle of a road trip. So, yeah. And then be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. Karma is real. Oh, fuck. Ask my cousin Doug if karma is real. I dare you. Ask. Just
not ask. A cult.
Not a cult. Not a cult. Yeah. So be good to each other. Yes. Doug's wife is real. Tone chasing is a good thing. And of course, don't litter. That's the ending I was thinking of.